She says that she's dealt with this in the past.
So now she was triggered.
Because she got to step her cookie game up. Okay. I don't know what that's like to be. How you give the man some pum pum and then he don't want no more? Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. Thank you so much for joining us again. I'm your girl Zar Eleanor. Yes, I got on the same outfit that I had in the previous video, but don't judge me, judge your mama. And I'm here always with my beautiful husband Joseph Conner, and you are on the Conner's Couch. We're talking about Married at First Sight. If you're here, make sure you check out our Love is Blind review. We was eating them up alive. I just am so disappointed, but that's here nor there. But what I am excited to talk to you all about is Married at First Sight. Now, there have been some changes in the Married at First Sight structure. We were once watching them on Lifetime. They are now streaming on Peacock, kind of in the same way that they were doing Love is Blind, where they kind of drop a batch of episodes every single week. How do you feel, Joe, about the new format?
I have some highs and lows about it. Okay. Like, I do feel like they trim the fat a lot. Like, we're not getting a lot of filler episodes that are wasting time this season. They jumped right in. We're not still in the bridal suites. We're not still searching for dresses and tuxes. We're not on the party bus going to the bachelor and bachelorette party. I mean, they must have said in that first meeting, y'all waste too much time. You know what I mean? And it was very clear that they was cutting to the fat. So I appreciated that part about it. Like, it didn't feel like we were just being strung along. Yeah. Some stuff I feel like is going to take some getting used to. I don't love that they don't have an after party. You know what I mean? Obviously, we got a special affinity for the after party with us being on it, as y'all know. I don't love that they don't, but they not wasting no time with these people. So they say we cutting a lot of stuff out. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
I feel like the after party is going to be moved to. I think that these people are going to start going on Watch What Happens Live.
That's interesting.
With Andy Cohen. This is Peacock. Think about Love Island.
Yeah.
Andy Cohen coming into Love Island was random.
Right, but they also still had After Sun. Ah, you know what I mean? So
good point. So I'm kind of into the new format. I too don't really love that there isn't like an after party, but then again, sometimes I feel like I don't need the spoilers, or I don't really no. What do I want to say? I was going to say I don't need that much context. I definitely need the context. I think I'm saying, like, I wonder, in the effort for them to try to slim this down, I'm willing to go on this journey with them of how they see it unfolding. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Because I kind of like the idea that we just getting right to the meat and potatoes of things.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And I hope that the reunion will give us that as well. You know what I mean? If there is one. Now,
they might cut that shit out too. Hello. We ain't giving y'all no reunion.
I guess we won't go in order of marriage. We just going to start talking about people. How do y'all feel about that? We watched all 4 episodes. Again,
I don't know how I feel about them bunching the episodes up either.
Well, we were watching almost 2-hour-long episodes. All they did was give us 4. This is really only 2 episodes we watched. In the real world, we were watching 2-hour episodes.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
We're going to see what it's looking like. I don't really care for appointment TV. For the sake of how we film, I kind of like the show episode by episode.
Yeah.
But, because I don't want to miss anything while we're talking about this. Yeah. But then again, I'm kind of like, it still wasn't a lot that happened.
I don't know. It felt like a lot happened.
Okay. Well, then keep me honest.
You know what I mean? Because they jumped right into it, and then we had like people getting married, and when we had them also discussing the couples as individuals, and then we got a mom and daughter. What is happening here? Now we have older couples.
So let's talk about that. In the previous episode where we were talking about Love is Blind, I chatted with you all about how Married at First Sight UK has a much more robust, diverse cast. They have homosexual couples, they have heterosexual couples, they have fat men, they have short women. It's just really beautiful to see more of the diaspora of humans. You know what I mean? It's more of a smorgasbord of humans that we get to see. And I feel like they should include older people, because the younger demographic is what's messing up their numbers.
I agree, and I think that's probably part of what that seems to me like that was a Peacock thing too. They said, listen, these kids that y'all bringing in, they're very unserious. They be on here playing around. We want some older couples that is really about being married and finding their person and not being on TV. And it seems like they got that. I also feel like just a wide view of the pairings overall are much better than they've done in years past. Like, I just feel like more of these couples actually like each other.
Yes. And I also think it's different, but I also think they like each other.
Yeah.
So you want to dig on in?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Megan and Derek. Megan is 37. Derek is 38. Derek has this wanderlust spirit. He's traveled all over the world. Megan and her family have a very successful business in which she works very hard for them. Megan is fascinating to me.
Super.
Right? She has a fascinating dynamic with her mother.
She don't fuck with her mom. Let's just put it out there. And the mom don't really fuck with her. It's just be clear.
There was a lot of stuff going on with them that I thought was odd. Did you all think it was odd? Her mom honestly seems like a regular mom to me.
What you mean?
A lot of moms can be like cutthroat like that. Like sharp with their girls.
I don't know. She seemed like she was being a bitch to her.
But I think
I'm not used to seeing that.
Do y'all know what I mean when I say a lot of moms are sharp with their daughters? Like, sometimes I feel like
she was sitting at her wedding serving looks that could kill.
She was.
That's not normal to me. That's not.
She could have stayed home.
She looks like she wanted to stay home.
She could have had a V8.
I don't.
She could have had a V8. I feel like she should have stayed home because I feel like her energy kind of
was sour. It was terrible. It was terrible.
Megan looked really beautiful on her wedding day. Okay, I have to say that. I thought she looked stunning. I thought she picked the correct dress. She looked very good in that dress. And I think if I was going to introduce myself to a human that didn't know me, that's exactly how I would do it. She did not have her brother or her father walk her down the aisle. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, she said the family dynamic is obviously weird. She said the situation with the brother was all she said was he was private. So I take that as he don't want to be on camera.
He's in the mob.
He's got to be in the mob.
Yeah.
He's the part of the Lucchese family. He doesn't want to be seen. I'm okay. That's cool. And with the dad, he couldn't make it.
Because he had a skin tag
or something. He had his nose replaced or some shit like that.
He had to get the whole nose replaced.
So, okay, like, they couldn't be there. That's telling to me that whenever somebody family don't really show up like that, but also just seeing a mom, like the family dynamic got to be weird. When the mom is a little off, everything is off to me.
That's so true.
Yeah.
I felt like so I'm not saying don't participate in the process with her because this is her decision. I get that. However, this is a woman. And if a man should know that she has men in her life that take care of her and care about her. And to me, even if you are the dad, ain't you going out in the world every day skin tagging out on your face?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, are we kidding? Like, get some Maybelline. I don't even know what it is.
Not Maybelline.
I don't even know what it is, y'all. He might have like a whole thing on his face or whatever the case may be. But even if he did, I'm still her father. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. He could have just pulled up and been like, listen, I'm not going to walk you down the aisle because that's going to be too much. I don't want to be, you know what I mean, mess up your pictures or anything like that. But I have to know this man. I'm pulling up so he know me and I know him.
Yeah, I mean, it should.
Who is protecting this young woman?
She said she protecting herself.
I swear to God, I was going to say that, so that's great that you picked that up. Okay, did I set you up for that?
Yeah.
She definitely says she is a protector, a provider, okay?
Yes, she did.
She's a strong black woman.
She said. She was a strong black woman.
She says she is a strong black woman. I don't want to hear it. Derek is looking for something deeper. Derek has done the Eat, Pray, Love. He has been to the White Lotus, okay? He's buried a body of 4. And his thing is like, I want to have real conversations and deep, meaningful moments with a human. And Megan is just not giving him that.
She ain't got it to give.
When they went on the honeymoon.
She don't have it to give. You know what I mean? She's plain white bread, bro. That's it. You know what I mean? And he is obviously like, he can conversate. He's an intellectual. He's well-traveled. He's well-spoken. And Megan don't have a lot of words to give him. That's just what it is.
That's just what it is. Now, how did you feel when he spoke to, on the honeymoon, the men meet and they chat about what's going on with them? Now, Derek took some advice from another man on the honeymoon who we'll get to a little bit later, where he said that he had a conversation with his spouse about how he was showing up and questions weren't being asked, and he felt like, you know, he wasn't getting to know her. Derek resonated with that and felt like Megan doesn't
talk
or ask me anything or ask me about myself or want to get to know me or whatever the case may be. And he brought that to her attention. And she like flipped it on
literally
him.
gaslit the shit out of him. Which was anybody surprised about that?
You wasn't surprised?
No, this is what we talking about with the accountability, bro. Especially with the women.
I didn't even think he said anything wrong. I didn't think he said anything to be.
That's the problem. When you have a complicated relationship with the truth and accountability, it doesn't have to be anything wrong that makes you literally try to flip the script. You know what I mean? Because how can somebody come to you with an issue, not somebody, your spouse, and then your rebuttal is, I feel ambushed?
Right. It's only me and you sitting here. But that's
we're married. Like, what am I? How do I communicate my issues with you? Like,
but I want to be clear. The word ambush was chosen methodically. Because she is going to be one of those people who want to curate her aesthetic for the viewing public.
Yes.
Okay? That was one of our nuggets. She just dropped it because it wasn't an ambush. His whole goal here is to be in a marriage with someone.
Yes, a healthy one.
Despite the fact that the mother told his mama, well, if you're there here in 6 months, y'all can come visit her.
Which is crazy. Like, her mom is crazy.
Yeah, she could have left her the fuck home. But if that's any indication of how she's going to be, Derek.
Run.
Are you kidding me? Also, I know as a woman, we be impressed with the work that we do. But
it's not that impressive.
I be so bored. I be like,
really,
I
have to get over yourselves. You have to get over yourself. I'm so tired of adults wanting a pat on the back for adulting. I'm exhausted with it. Like, you have to get over yourself.
I think in the grand scheme of things, and I've told y'all this before, women have not had the same rights as men, right? So when we do things, it does seem amplified. So I really want to say that. And at the same time, I also want to say, Megan, you work for your family.
What are we talking about? But also, I'm
not saying you don't work hard. I'm just saying, are they going to fire you if you don't?
But also, you work for yourself. Because you have to take care of yourself like any well-mannered adult who is contributing to society. It is your job to take care of yourself. The same way it is that if you had a baby, it would be your job to take care of the baby. You can't go outside and then ask for flowers because you took care of your own responsibilities. Why do we keep doing that? I don't give a damn I don't care that you're a woman. I don't. You pay your own bills because whose else responsibility is it to pay your bills?
But Megan's issue is not that she pays her own bills.
Well, she stood up and said it. Well, I take care of myself. I pay my own rent. I wash my own ass. Like, I'm so tired of these.
I think that might have been a dig at her mama, to be honest. Like, girl, I know daddy ain't here, and I know my brother ain't here, but bitch, you ain't walking me down the aisle either, so you can sit the fuck down.
One thing Peacock is doing very well at is these TLC cutaways to the faces. because that was awkward, and they cut right to the mom. If she wasn't talking about the mom, they were trying to insinuate that she was talking about the mom.
I thought it was a dig at the mama.
I thought once the camera turned to the mom's face that it was. At that point, I said, "Oh, well, Peacock think it was a dig too."
I did. I thought that everybody's having sex, including Megan and Derek.
Is this not the horniest cast we've ever seen?
But slow down.
We've never seen this much sex this early.
I don't mind it, but I don't mind it.
I'm asking though. This is a question. Have we ever? Was it me?
No, I think we have. I think
no, never. Not this many cup. Never.
All but one.
Huh?
Oh no, I was gonna say all but one, but I think they had sex too.
Who?
The black people.
Everybody had sex. Like I've never seen a season of Married at First Sight where before we even get to the honeymoon, by the time we get there, everybody's had sex. I've never seen that.
Who's next?
But is that a sign of the times? What's happening?
I actually kind of like it. I think that we got to stop. First of all, there has to be less of a stigma on these things, because the problem is that people think that they're curating the process. They want to be in control of everything. And I think just let it go. Just be in the moment. And if the moment is telling you to open your legs, open your legs. I'm
just surprised that everybody was in the moment.
I am surprised.
I'm not surprised that people consummated their marriages early. I'm surprised at the odds are that not all the couples would have. You get what I'm saying?
But I think
it's just surprising to me that it seemed like everybody.
But I also think that's a testament to how good they did physically matching these people.
I think they did a much better job. So maybe
I think that's a testament to that.
Like I said when we first started the video, this is also the best couplings I think that I've seen. That I've seen in a long time, where I just think like each couple actually is into each other. I agree. Physically, because obviously they don't know each other.
Also, y'all had 105,000 applicants. Okay, no, I was going to say something like, Austin is one of the most diverse cities in America. I don't know if you guys know that. It's a cosmopolitan city, so it's very diverse. I would expect for it to be a little bit more diverse, but technically it is. They gave us 2 Latino women and a black couple. So maybe we doing well. We doing well here. So
I don't know. I think we need more black people, but
I don't even think they need to be black. I think Asian couple. I like seeing just different cultures. One of the things that I love that Married at First Sight.
Too, but I just feel like we should also kind of depict life. You know what I mean? Like it's more of us out there. We not the token no more. They said the browning of America is a thing. Like go look it up.
But that's why they
get on it here. But it's a thing. You know what I mean? So I do think that it shouldn't just be one black couple in every like. I don't agree with that.
Okay. The blacks. We got Will and Brittany. Okay, Will is 30, Brittany is 29, and when I tell you they give 30 and 29,
yeah,
these babies give. 30 is like the year when you really feel like, oh, I'm really grown. You know what I mean? Would you agree?
Sure. 100%.
And you could tell they baby grown-ups.
Yeah.
Because the baby is still heavy on the baby, both of them. Okay. Brittany is a beautiful girl, but do y'all want my first impression since we giving first impressions? I think Brittany is a beautiful girl. I think she did this whole process to make sure that her parents saw her get married.
I ain't gonna lie. I believe you. I believe it because it just feels to me like
it's not for her.
What? Right. Who was this for? Is this for you? It was like, even when she was talking, I think, to her dad, and she was like, you know what I mean? I'm just glad that you got to, you know what I mean? I felt like she was saying, I'm doing this for you, Daddy, so you can, you know what I mean? I know you needed to see your daughter get married, and I'm doing it.
Yeah, because these other bitches ain't getting married.
Because they ain't doing it.
It wasn't weird. We've all been there. But it was like, you know what I mean? Like, I just hope this baby understands how important it is for her to make decisions for herself.
Yes.
And live her life for herself. Okay. I know a lot of black women who do a lot of things because how it looks in their family dynamic. And I know what that does to them mentally and the burden that they are carrying because they feel like they got to be the one who get married. They got to be the one who got a husband. They got to be the one who buy a house. They got to be the one who do this, who do that. And the way that can be exhausting for you. To me, it feels like Brittany is just like trying to be all the things for everybody but herself.
But also, it causes you not to show up as your best self, because this is not typically when you are doing something or in a place that you're not supposed to be. A lot of times it's very hard for you to succeed at it. You know what I mean? And I think that causes people to show up as less than their best selves, because you are not really here for the right reasons. This is not really where you're supposed to be. And I think that on the onset of their interactions, it just feels like, what's happening? They had a lot of conversations in our introduction to them that made me think, like, what's happening?
And they both have very combative personalities. Like,
Will doesn't feel combative to me.
Will feels combative to me.
He feels like a novice to me. I don't know how many relationships that he said. If you remember, or somebody bust down and let us know, he feels like a novice. But Brittany feels ultra combative to me.
He feels combative
like
to me
when they
because
talking, I'm like, it's almost like a little bit of. I was getting Calabria vibes, and if y'all love
she might be a Virgo.
I was getting Calabria vibes. Like, girl, what are y'all? Y'all just eating breakfast, talking about going to pool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't remember because it was 4 episodes. That's why I don't love the 4 episode thing, because I can't even remember exactly the reference point. But like, they was talking about something, and it just felt like ultra aggressive for no reason, when the conversation was really, the subject was really laid back.
They had a conversation about having conversations and how they expect to be spoken to and asking questions with one another. And Brittany made reference to them having a conversation, all the women, while they were together, about how they were showing up. And Megan, was it Megan?
I don't remember.
Had told her about what Rhonda tells them about how she felt like he wasn't asking her any questions or really trying to get to know her, whatever the case may be. And Brittany made reference to the fact that she felt the same way. Whereas Will said about what?
No. Yeah, Will was like, I'm going to stop you there.
Which to me feels combative, because all he had to say is not about what you mean, but he really needed to say, what am I doing that's making you feel that way? Because but that's
the novice, the part in me, you know what I mean? Because in the moment, I could just tell that he was letting her speak, and in the moment, I could just tell that he heard something that he felt was a lie, and he was just like, no.
And the problem is, he gives me the reason why I think he's combative is because he would rather be right than be happy.
That's the novice part I'm talking about.
And it's not up for debate. He sat in front of her mother and her father. They asked him, do you believe in the Lord Jesus Christ as your savior? Okay. And that motherfucker said, you mean the Jesus Christ that had people out here fighting world wars and chopping off women's heads and dragging babies through the streets and putting men in wells? That Jesus Christ? And the parents was looking like,
burn, hellfire, and brimstone.
I'm saying that seems combative to me, because it's very clear if they ask the question, do you or your family believe in, the Lord Savior Jesus Christ? You already knew what they was getting at. And I think to be polite, all he had to say was, I don't go to church.
Subscribe to that, or I don't go to church but that's what I mean. That's the novice that I'm talking about. Like, I don't feel like he was intending to, during that conversation, he felt like, what?
1,000%.
Like, I don't think he was intending to go to spar with them. I think he was just so aloof in that moment that that they were like, and he was like, yeah, I mean, haven't you guys read the whatever he was talking about?
Yeah,
and they were like, and even the dad felt like he was trying to find common ground.
Yeah,
and it totally missed him. To me, it felt like it missed him. It didn't feel like he was trying to avoid it. It just felt like, bro, are you not picking up these cues? Which I don't think there's a thin line between ultra intelligence and
being on the spectrum.
Yes. And if you've ever met anyone like that, it's palpable. It's happening in the room. They're not all the way there, and they having these conversations. And to them, they're just spitting facts. And you're like, I don't know, bro. Maybe pull up on this. This is awkward. You know what I mean? And I think he kind of strikes me as that person.
The problem is, I get Will. I get him. And I also find him cringe. But I get him, right? And not cringing like, he a mad normal guy. So I don't want to be like, give him too much. What I'm saying is, as somebody who feels exactly how he feels, when I heard him say these things, I'm like, you didn't have to do all that.
This is diarrhea of the mouth.
You did, yes, and that's why it feels combative to me, because it almost felt like I don't give people reasons as to why I worship the way I do or feel the way I do, because what's the point? It's the way I worship, right? It really ain't none of your business. So when I give these polite answers, it's just to be like,
but also
polite.
you also avoid conversation to avoid doing things that Will did.
I do. Because I can get that way.
Yeah, and you will just shut it down.
And I have, but I'll shut it down. Right.
That's the difference.
Because I'm just like, I could go there with you, but I'm not even going to do that. Because I remember your mom asked me, oh, well, you had went to church on Christmas?
Yeah,
and
it was like, yeah,
Christmas Eve or something like that? And your mom was like, well, why you ain't go to church on Christmas? And I was thinking, damn, what I'm going to say? And then I was like, I just was honest. I said, well, I got my girls here, so I'm not going. I had my nieces. So I'm like, no, she was like, well, everybody. And I was like, they ain't had nothing to wear, which they didn't. So I was like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just what it was. But I don't feel like I have to go through. When I felt, to me, a small part of it feels like disrespect to me. I don't know why.
But that is experience.
Okay.
Because the old Zar could have just been like, church. Let's talk about church. You know what I mean?
And I've been there.
I know.
And I've been
That's
there.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I've been there. But I wouldn't do that with your mom. I think that's rude.
No. I'm not saying you would. I'm just saying,
Yeah, I
like,
would never do that.
There could have been a conversation years ago with somebody else.
Oh, with somebody else, it would have went off.
It could have went that way.
Hell, with somebody else today, it would have went off.
Yeah.
But no, you're absolutely correct. And I felt like for that to be the first impression that you had with her parents, I felt like that was too much.
Way too much.
I felt like that was too much. They trying to get an idea of who you are, and yes, you're a man who stands strong in your convictions, obviously. But I also feel like just slow down. Sometimes you got to meet people where they at.
Yeah.
We so
Also,
busy trying to be up here. That's what I mean.
You know they old. You know they probably got a pew named after them. You got to read the room and just be like, oh, you know what? I went to church last Easter. You know what I mean? Whatever. You know what I mean? You don't have to just read the room.
Because that's what I do. Oh, I went last Sunday.
Because that's all they want. They just wanted a nod. You know what I mean? You ever walk through a PWI or a mall and you see the black guy on the other side and he see you? He just wants you to be like, what's up?
Yeah.
Just acknowledge that I'm here, that you see me. We ain't got to have a whole conversation. You know what I mean? And they just wanted you to nod. And was sometimes when you on the spectrum, you know what I mean, or you just trying to spit facts and you just can't. You could have caused a lot less heartache and headache by just being like, you know what? I just don't go to church every Sunday, but I love it. You like it?
Or I used to go as a kid. You wouldn't even have to get noise. I used to go, you know what I mean? I just felt like that was too much. But to me, that is a morsel into who he is and how he handles all conversations. And I think that his tone sometimes in just the 4 short episodes that we've seen comes off as if he is trying to
be the smartest guy in the room.
And that, if y'all know, that is what burns me up. And shout out to Brittany, because I cannot stand when men think and that's really I don't know what the misandrous take, okay? Because I'm not a misogynist, but I'm gonna I really cannot do it. Like, just shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. And the problem is he does know what he's talking about, and he knows what he's talking about. He's talking about, and he wants everybody else to know as well.
But it also is he don't know how to control his venom. Like, that's what I mean about the novice. You can be right in these conversations with your spouse, and experience will have you pull all the way back. That's what I mean. Because
what does being right get you?
Right. Because I believe him when she was talking. I've watched at this point in the show.
We've watched 3 episodes.
Yes, right. So we've seen their interaction. I don't feel like she was giving him much, right? So when she said, it caught my eye. It caught my ear when she said, well, yeah, Pat was saying that what you call him wasn't talking. And I said, I feel the same way. Now, I wouldn't have been like, no. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I also felt like,
But maybe if you first started dating her, you would have been like, no.
I don't, probably not. But I do think that, I don't think his feeling was wrong. I think the way he handled his feeling was absolutely wrong. Let her finish talking. And then inquire. You know what I mean? But that's the not. He like, no. What? I don't know what you're talking about. And the problem is, a lot of times with these type of people, there will be no feeling involved. He's just spitting facts.
But also the problem is, y'all be talking yourself out of the poom poom. Just saying anything
we
out
gotta
your
talk
mouth.
about that too. That was a weird conversation.
Okay, you ready? Y'all
this
ready?
This is the weird part about Britney that I didn't like.
So they had relations. They so young, baby grown. They can't even say they had sex. They saying everything.
We got
closer. Everybody else said we fucking, and we fucking yesterday, and we fucking tonight.
And the old heads meant it. They meant it.
And meant it. Okay. Now she says they got closer. And in the midst of them getting closer, they did not use protection. Am I correct?
Yes, that's what this was a confusing conversation,
because
they were speaking in innuendos. That's why it was a very confusing conversation. So we're going to tell you our perception of it. If you heard it a different way or y'all you got some more tea, you let us know. But this is how we proceed. Because I watched the whole thing, confused girl meme, like
yeah, like doing math. So they were intimate. They did not use protection. She said she was worried about it.
Or she wasn't worried about it. And he was worried about it. And then he felt like maybe we shouldn't do this again, which upset her. But that is confusing to me.
But she says that she's dealt with this in the past.
So now she was triggered.
Because she got to step her cookie game up. Okay. Because I don't know what that's like to be. How you give the man some poom poom and then he don't want no more? I'm just saying. Have you ever opened up a bag of chips and ate one?
She said this happened to her before. That's
something. And
but that's the other thing. That's the other part of like you might not be all the way. This is something this is a you thing that you have to figure out, because that didn't have anything to do with him. And it also seemed like a complete mischaracterization of what he was trying to do in that moment. It seemed like he was saying he was trying to be responsible. Like, oh no, we should definitely like not be out here fucking raw. We should use protection. And then she turned that into, well, I don't want nobody who's pulling back. Pulling back? How did you get pulling back from him being like, I just don't think we should be smashing raw. Like, we did it. You seem weird about it. I'm weird about it. So let's not do it again. And she spun that into this whole other conversation about how her ex smashed and left.
How y'all eating one potato chip? Like, I don't get it. But also she wants to play mental gymnastics too.
Yes.
They are one and the same in that regard. And I think that's a testament to what dating is like nowadays. The man think he's smart as hell. He's an Israelite, okay? He got the motherfucking Star of David around his chest, and he wearing purple, and he's sitting on the corners yelling and screaming at the people through a megaphone. And the women want to combat everything you say. You do something. He just following you. The truth of the matter, what it sounds like to me is you got uncomfortable. He followed your lead with the uncomfortableness, and then you got mad because he followed your lead.
That's what it sounded like to me.
That's what I got from it.
My head was spinning. Like, what is going on here?
Did you want him to be uncomfortable or did you not want him to be uncomfortable? But this is so that's what made me think. Also, see, this is so I be trying to figure out what these people's signs are. I gotta find it because that feels like a water sign thing to do to me, because water signs have a way of drowning you in their emotions, lifting you up in their emotions, stretching you out in their emotions, and that feels like something that you want to set the tone, but then you don't want to take responsibility for it. Like, you the reason why this is going on. Like, I don't get that, and I felt like it was immature. I felt like the whole conversation was wildly immature. And I feel like intimacy, like, y'all are grown. Like, just be intimate. You know what I mean? She's a strategic HR business partner. But then the way she said it, right? Even that. This is a testament to not getting enough praise at home, I feel like, too. The way that she said it was like, oh, no, I'm like a global marketing genius for HR partners and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And as somebody who is in technology and HR technology, I always try to find the easiest way to tell people what my job is.
No, for real.
For real. You know what I mean? I'd be like, I manage HR tech. That's it. Like, why do it gotta be like this? They just be exhausting me so badly. It's not even funny. And I feel like Will and Brittany's thing is somebody wants to be the leader. They both want to be the leader. And neither one of them are even, neither one of them have the capability. They don't have the resume to be the leader of this relationship. None of that. Like, everybody wants to be the one ahead. She walks out the room and this man said, well, she walked out. What you want me to do? She left. Why would I, like, why do I need to go get her? She left.
This is smart guy novice logic.
And that's,
he's leaning into his facts, which is going to get him in trouble. Mark my words by this. A lot of the things that he's going to say moving forward won't be factually incorrect. He seems like a very intelligent guy, very analytical, right? And he is going to win a lot of arguments.
But logic and emotion are not the same thing.
Right. And his issue is...
The problem is he's going to lose a lot of arguments, and he's not going to understand why.
I'm saying factually, in his mind, he's going to win a lot of arguments, yes. Right? And that's not going to get him anywhere, right? He's telling the cameraman, she walked out the room. If she wanted to be here, she wouldn't have left, right? Logically, okay, we going with you, right? You're not logically wrong. That's not how life works. That's not how women work.
That's not how men work.
You know what I mean? So
men don't want to walk out of a room and you don't follow them.
So now we're in a place where
Megan look pretty in that picture.
I don't know about that. Oh. Now we're in a place where you're trying to use logic to figure out how to navigate an emotional situation. That's not going to work out well for you, bro. It's just not.
And
but that's the novice. I don't think he's had, I don't know how many relationships he's had, but it just seemed like he ain't had many.
I think novice is a polite way to call him an asshole. I think he's going to be so hard. The problem is that the smart part of us are going to be like, you know what, he's right. But the part of us that's been in relationship and married is going to be like, yeah, broke boys don't deserve no poom poom. You know what I mean? Like, are you kidding me? You've been intimate with a woman and she out in a resort. You don't know where she at and you don't follow her. Are we for real? Where are the men's? Everybody want to be the girl. Where is the men's? That's why I be trying to tell people I never met a man in my life. Like, where are they at? Like, somebody got to be the leader here. The problem is that this same man, I bet you will sit up in the face and be like, well, you know, I'm this and I'm that. No, like, y'all have to, like, lead. She obviously is having a problem. And you know what else I was thinking, Joe?
What?
Why don't they just say they nervous? Do you think they cut that out?
They feel like it's a sign of weakness. Everybody has to project that they are all-knowing, all-powerful. We are a strong black woman. And it's okay to just say how you feel, because it also is a release. You know what I mean? It's like what we was talking about earlier, or other video. A lot of y'all been with us, both videos anyway. Other video, it's a part of it is a release to just tell somebody, you know what, this is a scary process.
Yes.
I'm a little nervous. I don't know what to do with my hands. It's the first time that I'm having an argument with my spouse on camera. That we can all understand that. And you will probably feel lighter. You know what I mean? That's okay. I know it makes me feel lighter to express how I feel about a certain situation.
Yeah.
So it's okay to just come. But I think so many singles, they just have to project this unwavering strength of unbotheredness. And it's not going to get you nowhere.
Let's talk about an old couple. We have Pat and Rhonda. Rhonda is out of control, and even the kids think so.
And the kids is terrified for her.
The kids is terrified for Pat. The son said, whoever you are, be somebody else. Okay?
Literally.
Because you're going to run this man away, all right? And we need you to really reel it in. And I enjoy Miss Rhonda. Where she scares me is that I always find it fascinating when people are in their older age and they still need to be the center of attention.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
It's weird as shit to me.
But it's also like she's in this weird space of like she's a free spirit and she's really outgoing and she just enjoys being loud and brash in her energy, you know what I mean? So part of it is like a personality thing, and the other part is just like her not being able to quiet the little kid in her, you know what I mean? So she does need that. Whatever trauma happened in her past, she does need attention. She needs a lot of it, which is also what fueled their argument, on top of him kind of being aloof and not knowing how to have a conversation, you know what I mean, with a woman. I know it's been a long time, but a part of it is also she desperately needs you to attend to her. So even if you are just missing cues, it's exacerbated by whatever her childhood trauma is of desperately needing attention.
Yeah, and I appreciated her letting him know how it was making her feel that he wasn't necessarily paying attention or asking her questions, and I'm glad he didn't take it personal. But I did kind of feel like she was trying to make it personal.
A little bit she was, but that was the intense part that the kids was talking about, I think. When the kids said, oh, you could be a little too intense, I felt that, you know what I mean?
And she had the same baby 4 times.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That shit was weird. It was like...
They quadrupled it.
But weird in a great way. They was like, they literally looked like 2 sets of twins.
Yeah.
But Miss Rhonda is really stressful to me. I think that... Mr. Pat, he live at home with his mama. He's a caretaker. He takes care of his mama and everything like that, which God bless him. He still got his mama in his life. And Miss Ron, he was married for 30 years.
It's crazy.
Unhappily. In his words, well, he didn't say that, but basically what he said was he was holding on for the kids. So that sounds like unhappy to me.
Right.
And Miss Rhonda had been married twice. This will be her 3rd marriage. The first time her husband didn't want to get a job, and she probably knew that, and she probably met him at some kind of like hippie convention.
That's what it sounds like to me, and the confusion about that is why they only have 4 human beings with this hippie who obviously doesn't believe in working or doing a goddamn thing.
Because people pum pums be on fire.
And that's and
Rhonda, they be hot to trot.
Rhonda must have had some fire back in the day.
I think she had a little bit of spark, a little spunk. You know what I mean? She was busting it wide open. I get it, girl.
She clearly was.
She said she was madly in love with him.
Yeah.
And I get that. You know what I mean? But the problem is love don't pay the bills. And when I tell y'all married for money, I mean that shit. Okay? Married for money, you'll figure everything else out later. You'll learn to love him. But Pat, inversely, I believe he was in the services. Was he in the services or was that the other guy? Oh. Pat is semi-retired. How about that? Pat is semi-retired. He's not fully retired yet. But again, he was married for 30 years. And I feel like he's much more of a grounding spirit than Rhonda is.
I do too.
Which I think could be fun for the both of them. I think they jumped in. She had him dancing on the floor. And she said something, though, at the wedding I didn't like. And I don't know if you caught it. But she was like trying to run around the ballroom or something like that. Like she's 12. And in her mind,
she is.
But I get it. Young, wild, and free or whatever the fuck they said. But she said, oh, well, he's taking his shoes off. She was like, you're not being in the moment.
Yeah, that's the intensity part that the kids was talking about. I could see that.
Damn, his bunions hurt.
She is a weird mixture of laid back and intense.
Yes.
I've almost never seen anything like it. Like free spirit and intensity definitely doesn't typically go together. And she is a weird mix of them both. Like she's so light and airy, but also very intense.
So this is weird. I know a lot of people like that.
Really? I really haven't come across a lot of people.
I know a lot of people who
I feel like you either one or the other.
That's real. That's real. But I do find her to be empowering in the way that she speaks to the other young women and everything like that. I love that she's so free about her sexuality and the things that she wants to do. I love that. You're 63 years old. You should be free. You know what I mean? Who gonna check you, boo? And I thought it was awesome how they communicated. And then they went to the forest and did ayahuasca.
They sure did.
They sweating and shit. Yo, he had his T-shirt tucked in like this.
He was high, boy. He was on another planet. He said, I love you.
Okay, so how did you feel about that?
I felt like them drugs must have been real good. Whatever Miley and perks he was popping, he was also sweating and she wasn't. You know what I mean? So them things was coursing. Something must have been coursing through his veins that led him to say. Because I think if he met me in the same moment, he would have told me he loved me. You know what I mean? I just felt like he loved everything in that moment. His shirt was wrinkled and sweaty. He had a string backpack on. It was digging into his skin. It was cutting off his circulation, and he never felt better. That's some good mushroom or whatever he had.
I kind of like when people say things like, I love you. I don't know what it is. I think it's like no shame. He was obviously having a wonderful time with this woman, despite the fact that they had a little bit of a disagreement or just a little come to Jesus moment, not even disagreement. The way that he just was like so present in the moment, that's why it's so important to have older people on this season.
I've never done ayahuasca before.
We don't even know that's what they did. We playing, y'all.
He was definitely tree hugging and tripping on shrooms at that moment.
They was definitely tree
It don't mean as much when you high, though. You know what I mean? He was clearly lifted. There's no way.
I'm saying, let's say he's not. If he were to say that, to me, that's a testament of him just being present in the moment. And just saying, like, I'm here in this moment.
Trip. He was present in his trip to me. That's really what
I'm here in this moment with this beautiful woman, and I'm just loving my life right now. And she just happens to be the person there.
Yeah, and I think they both was on that.
I do, and I don't have any problem with it. Because even if you hear it, right?
Either. I mean,
I think there's something to hearing that kind of affirmation. Because it makes you feel like he was vulnerable enough to say that we moving in the right direction.
And I think you could tell that Rhonda back in the day, this was her vibe. So she probably
she was a pro.
She gonna bring him into these. They're gonna be hugging a lot of more trees and dancing in the forest.
Also, I absolutely positively loved that she wore red. I loved it. I think that she's a bold woman. I think she's been married twice. What the fuck she look like putting on a white dress?
Yeah.
And I think she looks stunning. And I think that it says something that he even had a red tie on. Mm-hmm. Like there's some alignment to me there. You know what I mean? And earlier that day before they got married, she pulled the soulmate card. So hopefully that's a good thing too. Mm-hmm. They too old to be like getting to, like at this point, figure it out. Just figure it out. And I hope that's what they choose to do. I also think it's important to have older people on this season because it feels like when they're talking to the younger people, they quell their anxiety about things.
Mm-hmm. They ground them a little bit. They just
ground them.
Some sound energy to the room. Because a lot of times, especially with the younger couples, everything is pandemonium and panic.
Yes.
No matter what the conversation was, what the argument was, what the disagreement was, it's on 10,000.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's clear. It's a clear indication of how Pat and Rhonda handled that conflict at the table. Like, it doesn't have to be that. If that was another couple who was 30 and 33, they'd have been walking around a resort by themselves.
They would have been planning how they are going to not talk to, they trying to get together. What it would have been was last year, David and the John.
Yes.
That's what it would have been.
It would have been, yeah.
We just gonna swap. We ain't gonna tell nobody we swap. We gonna wait till the end and be like, oh my God, we just popped up and was dating each other, and then we cool.
They gonna be walking around the resort by themselves, reviewing the cafes like David was because they stopped talking to each other. You know what I mean? Instead of just being able to, which is experience, talk about this conflict and then move on and still have a good time. And they did. I mean, in the same conversation, they almost said they love each other at the goddamn table.
Yes. Well, Belinda and Chad, I'm not too keen on this couple.
It's a little weird, and I'm not gonna tell you that I really don't know how I feel about Belinda and the daughter both being on here at the same time. It's like part of it is cool, but also part of it is like a weird side-eye situation. Like, so your daughter signed up to be married, and you thought I'm gonna have some of that too. You know what I mean? And now your wedding is the day after her wedding. What's going on in the mother-daughter sphere happening in reality TV right now? Like, this is another weird dynamic to me. You know what I mean? Like, even you wouldn't just think maybe let me let my daughter have this. You know what I mean? And maybe I apply, but maybe I apply next year. You know what I mean? Because this is like a big thing to do.
I agree.
You almost like have no thunder when like you're both doing it. You get what I'm saying? It just is like a little weird to me.
It feels like not authentic.
It feels almost like competition.
Belinda was married before to Jalen's father. And she had children starting at 19. She started having kids at 19. And they were together, I think she said 20 years or something like that, 20 some odd years. And it just didn't work out because there was some infidelity and everything like that on behalf of the husband's part. And so she's back at it. She's getting herself out there all over again. She wasn't married again. And what's also really telling, when people are describing the relationships that they've seen, Will and his parents, Brittany and her parents, Jalen talking about them, everybody describes it as they've been together, but I never seen them be affectionate. I never seen them. And that makes me sad.
Yeah, because somebody said, I don't remember who it was, but they was like, my parents are together and they've been together for years, but I want the opposite of what they got.
That's what Brittany said.
I said, God damn.
That's what Brittany said. But I think a lot of people feel that way. I think that's an honest thing. I think a lot of people feel like, I want this intense romantic love that I've never seen. You know what I mean? Like, I want to course correct in that regard. Like, and I don't think it's nothing wrong with that. I think that people respect the longevity. The problem is that back in the day, people just be together for the sake of being together.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And it's like you love them because you love your right arm, you know, or you love your left arm. You right-handed, but shit, if I ain't have it, I still feel away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that to even say that, that's a sense of vulnerability that I appreciate. But it also says to me that Belinda probably thought she had her greatest love, and maybe he's still out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I don't know that he's Chad. Chad been married 4 times. This is Chad's 4th marriage. The problem I have with Chad is that y'all gonna have to explain to me how Chad got this far.
Yeah, because they wanted older people. He was one of the old people. Now, out of the 100,000
Y'all
people
said it was 105,000 people
that signed up, I don't believe
105.
that a lot of it was people that was 50 and up, right? So I think maybe they pool was a little. Peacock definitely said, what you're going to do is you're going to put some old people on the show, right? And then they had to go to the old people pool and figure out where can they pull their people from, you know what I mean? And they found Chad. Chad is seemingly a nice guy. He just was married 3 times. And he's 54, so he's not really that old.
He's not that old here.
To have been married 3 times?
I know. That's my point. Like, I don't understand. I love a man who believes in love. Don't get me wrong. However, something's up.
Something got to be up.
Something's up. And I'm just going to leave it there. But I do like that he don't have no problem. He said, we're going to go out and get you a little ring. Okay? Because I can't. Peacock not even playing about the rings.
They're not even getting them rings no more.
They put a shoestring and said, put the shoestring around your finger. Yep. And then people going to know you married.
If you serious, you go get yourself your own goddamn ring. But we will not be funding this anymore.
God bless. Now, he's a man of means, so he been going out, buying Belinda things, and Belinda being a woman who ain't never been with a man who obviously been good to her, because, girl, she like, well, you don't have to buy me things all the time, and girl, shut the hell up.
But that's because that's a part of the strong black woman thing. You
know? Yo, it's too many strong black women.
It's a lot of them.
Y'all got to be, it's okay to take a gift from a man.
It's a lot of them.
But, I had a conversation with somebody that we know very closely, and she said the same thing. She said that when she was growing up, everybody made it a weird thing to take gifts from men.
Oh.
I said, girl, I was taught the exact opposite. Can't nobody be in your space without, you got to pay a toll around here.
I've never seen it be weird either.
Right.
That's not my experience at all. But
what you mean that's not your experience?
I've never been in that environment where it was weird.
Right.
So I don't know what that is.
But I think people make it weird because people make you feel like certain things are transactional. Okay, you take a gift from somebody. Yes, they do expect some kind of love, not affection, but affirmation from you. You know what I mean? Like, I think the idea is that we believe that you take this from this person, then you got to be dipping it low and spreading it wide. But I don't think that's necessarily the case.
Oh, I see. I understand. And context matters in that. You know what I mean? Especially when you're younger. Like, maybe there was like a power dynamic and with older men or something like that who was maybe showering younger girls. You know, I could see where if this person, I don't know who you're talking about, but if this person grew up in that and they were like, watch out. Don't let them have them gangsters coming around here riding low and they buying you, Gucci bags and all this other stuff. So I can understand that. I guess it just depends on the context of it.
Yeah. But either way, I like Belinda by herself. I think she's a beautiful woman. But I'm not too sold on Chad.
I'm not too sold on either one of these people.
Ooh.
I just want to watch. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The whole mother-daughter thing, doing this at the same time, is a little bit of a weird dynamic.
This is a first impression, and that's your first impression.
And Chad has been married 10,000 times, so we just got to figure out.
Let's talk about her child.
I do like her child. She's also a little
immature,
high-strung, like Rhonda, a little bit. But I like her.
I like Josh.
I like them both. Yeah.
I like Josh. He's probably a Republican, but
don't do that to him. Yeah.
He probably is. However, I do, just from watching this, I enjoy him. He has pulled himself up by his bootstraps. He said he was very poor. His mother went to prison when he was young. He probably didn't even have a relationship with her until he was 16 years old. It's very clear to me that the grandmother has lived a very hard life. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
But mama was there and mama took care of him. All right. And now he's able to afford a lifestyle beyond his wildest dreams. Okay. Because he was Oliver Twist. He is Oliver Twist no more. Now he Daddy Warbucks. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down?
For sure.
And he's ready for love. Now, Josh also has just met his father recently. When asked, was his mother going to be there? He said, hell no. She can't come around these parts. She won't know nothing, nobody, none of that. I'm done with her.
And that I don't know my dad enough to invite him either.
And I
respect that too.
I respected that so much. I'm still cool to. He said, I want to be around people who ground me and make me feel good. And those are the people who I invited. And something about that statement made me like him more.
Yeah, I mean, he just seems down to earth. I think that'll do it to you when you have risen to the heights that he has, but had to get it out the mud. You know what I mean? So I like that about him. Do you think they also tried to overcorrect? And it's not a lot of, we've had seasons in the past where broke is an understatement. We've had homosexuals on here, people who didn't even low-key didn't have a place to live. Peacock must have came in and said, you need to have them submit W-2. We need to see your tax statements.
Yeah, because just about everybody is working.
Nobody is living on the streets.
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like they were trying to correct that because we've seen some weird pairings in the past. We've even had a mother jumper lying about having a job.
He lied about 4 jobs.
He lied about every job.
He had 4 jobs and none of them was real. Okay.
Peacock said enough of that.
I feel like I love that. Okay. I love that he is a man of means and he's able to take care of her. I love that he asked her for a post-nup. How did you feel about that?
I get it. You know what I mean?
I do too.
And get it right. Get it in there. Rip the Band-Aid off. Had this conversation, like this is what, and I felt like he was very sober-minded in the conversation.
Very.
It didn't feel
and he said it immediately
or icky. It was like he explained the situation, and I ain't got no problem with it.
The only thing I would say is, it's always fascinating to me when a man says, I want to post up, and a woman say, well, I make my own money, so I don't need you to do this and do that. I want us to stop doing that. I want us to say, okay, have your lawyer call my lawyer. You don't have to sign a post-nup. You're already married. Kick the can. Nah, you know what I mean?
But also, if you make your own money and you ain't worried about that, you don't have to deliberate that you're a strong black woman.
But that's number one. Number two, a prenup should be a standard part of this process. It should even if it's just a one for 3 years.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? After 3, even if the terms of it is just 3 years.
Y'all literally are going into this knowing that in 6 weeks you're going to make a decision on your marriage.
That's my point.
You should have a blanket agreement for everybody.
For everyone. I don't think anybody should even take this conversation off the table from people.
Yeah.
And just allow them to exist. Because I don't think a post-nup is a big deal. I think that Jalen, if she's smart, she will put a timeline on it. This is not a perpetual post-nup. This is not something where, that it won't be negotiated. It would be a timeline. It would be either 36 to 48 months. And then after that time, we have to come back to the table and renegotiate it. If I have children, we have to come back to the table and renegotiate it. If like for every little milestone, we got to come back to the table and renegotiate it. You're not about to leave me high and dry. I'm not saying I got to have half your business, but I am saying that if I become accustomed to a lifestyle, I expect to be still at that same type of lifestyle. Is that wrong?
No, I just think it's too soon for these conversations.
And that's why they should have a blanket.
Yeah.
But she took it really well, in her defense. Jalen hasn't had any red flags for me. I really, really like her.
I do too.
I do think she's young. I think 27 is young. But I think they're going to have fun. And I kind of like that. I think they like each other. I think it's been nice on this season to see people who like each other.
Yeah, like that's where the bar should be.
Yes.
And we haven't even been getting that. You know what I mean? She's a realtor like everybody else.
Everybody's a realtor.
I mean,
but
I know more realtors than I know rappers and musicians at this point.
Everybody's a realtor, child. It's not even that impressive anymore. Respectfully,
it's
y'all.
almost a red flag. Like when I hear it, like, oh
okay. Like,
you know what I mean?
She's a realtor, but of course she teaches cycling.
That's what come on, yo.
So there's that.
So, you know, when we was in LA, everybody was an artist / whatever actually paid their bills.
Exactly. DoorDasher.
So I'm getting exactly
Instacarter.
I'm getting the same thing from the realtor community. You're all realtors that work at Dave's Hot Chicken or that drive for Uber.
Which go ahead, hustle,
but I'm exhausted with it. Just don't even tell me. Just try to do, when you sell your first $1 million house, then just bust out like, I'm a realtor now, I did it. But
or not sell your first, sell a house.
Sell something.
A lot of y'all have not sold a home
and claiming to be a realtor. You know what I mean?
Just sell a home.
Your occupation is what you do, not what you're trying to do.
But she is young and beautiful, and I am excited to see them thrive. I love the way that her mother kind of broke it to Josh, that her mother was also a part of this process. It was really, really cool. I really like Josh. Something about Josh I find so grounding.
Yeah.
So I find him to be so peaceful, and I really, really enjoy that. I feel like this cast is really, really good. Straight off the bat, I think Josh and Jalen can go a very long way.
I do too. Because you give extra grace when you're actually physically attracted to your spouse.
And
in the beginning, when you don't have equity, we talked about this before. When you don't have a lot of equity, and y'all have this argument, and she getting on your nerves or whatever, and you barely know this mother jumper, you like, you know what? If he wasn't so pretty, I've done it. That's how we're here.
Oh my goodness, whatever. They had a conversation about the couples and who they thought was really good couples and who they didn't think was really good couples. And they listed Brittany and Will last just based on the energy between them. What are your thoughts?
Not shocking at all. They have these conversations. I said, like, when they were talking, a lot of the times I'm sitting there thinking, what is happening? Even when they weren't arguing, it was just like, that's the Calabria thing now. I felt the same way about Calabria and Edmund. Like, where's the aggression coming? Y'all talking about whether y'all going to get tea and coffee or not. You know what I mean? This like tug of war.
It's definitely a tug of war.
You know what I mean? And I think it has to be palatable in the room. And I think they sensed that and was like, something's off there. You know what I mean? And put them last. But also them sitting in bed doing this is also a green flag.
So this is what I said to Joe yesterday and my mom, because we were all watching this. I said, when it starts getting awkward and you don't know what to talk about other people. That's what
But it doesn't have to get awkward. If you got that energy, you'll naturally be like, what's going on with there? You know what I mean? And you'll start spitting. You know what I mean? We used to make up whole scenarios about couples that were randomly in a restaurant that we were in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially if they wasn't talking. Like, oh my God, look at them.
What's going on over there?
Yes. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like doing those things eases communication.
Yes.
So then when you want to talk about other stuff, you could just jump right in because this your friend.
Yes.
Y'all, they know your jokes. They know your inside jokes. They know this, they know that.
Yes. It's very weird to me that some of these couples sit down and they have these big, strong moments of silence. Like, Megan and Derek had, right? You don't know each other. You're also at big ages. Megan and Derek are 37 and 38.
Yeah, we big grown.
Y'all have lived a lot of life to this point. Y'all should never be sitting in silence after just knowing each other for 48 hours.
Right.
That's a red flag, right? You have lived so much life. So at this point, conversation should just be flowing, and it doesn't have to be talking about taxes and kids.
But that's the problem with these cell phones. I think back in the day we had to talk. You used to talk on the phone. You used to do all the people.
We used to literally, I told this to Zar's mom while we was watching this. We used to literally go to school together for 8 hours, talk all day at school, and then go home and talk all night on the phone. We would literally fall asleep on the phone. And then I got to the point where I got myself in trouble. I was doing it so much. So I got a burner phone and I put it under my bed so I could continue to talk to Intezar all night long. This was at 16 when we hadn't really lived any goddamn life.
I had my own phone line.
You understand what I'm saying?
Angel would have to physically come and take the phone out of our room.
Yeah.
Like unplug it from the wall and take it out of our room. I had my own phone line.
So
we thought we was hip.
It's just weird that like y'all at these big ages can't just ease into conversation. You know what I mean? The way that you would at a conference, networking, or at, you know what I mean? Like,
right. How y'all got all this big money and y'all big minds and y'all don't have nothing
to talk about? Y'all can't talk to a stranger that you sleeping in the bed with?
But apparently no. Apparently no. A lot of y'all be thinking y'all got ribs and y'all don't have nothing. Y'all got shiz.
That's so... That was terrible. Never say that again.
First impressions, to me, if you were to ask me, I think Jalen and Josh got it. Whatever it is, if they can just stay the course, they will be fine.
Yeah.
They just take their time with one another and be nice to one another, they will be fine. And I actually feel that way about Pat and Rhonda.
I was just about to say, I feel the same about Pat and Rhonda. That's so funny. I was about to say the same thing.
I just think if she finds a way to dial back
the... she got to dial it back. But sometimes the yin and yang of couples like this will have that effect.
Yes.
So his calmness will kind of dampen her down a little bit. And so I'm hoping that is what happens.
So thank y'all so much for joining us again. I'm your girl, Intezar Eleanor. Bust down. Make sure y'all buy us a coffee or whatever the case may be, because we struggling. I'm going through postpartum. And if y'all want me to be happy, I need to be caffeined up. Okay, so thank y'all so much for joining us again. Bust down, subscribe to this Mimi Tam channel. Tell us what your first impressions are. Who's your favorite couple? And we'll see you beautiful mother jumpers later.
Peace.
Bye.